Today we're out for a day trip in Kirriemuir, which is the birthplace of J.M. Barrie, the guy that wrote Peter Pan. Just over there, I don't know if you can see, it's a kind of pirate ship. It's a Neverland, it's an adventure area that I've taken my nephews to. But while we're here, I thought I would go and have a look at this incredibly tranquil cemetery. See if you can find J.M. Barrie's grave. The signpost leading this way. I'm imagining it's going to have a Peter Pan statue on it. I don't want to walk too far anyway. Oh, somebody over there. Hopefully it's somebody not go. Yeah. Okay, so I guess I'll turn the camera back on when we get to the actual grave site. So impressive graves. It's a shame that it's broken, that one with the marble cross. It's also real eerie. I'm the only person in the graveyard. It's getting kind of sad. Same Barrie's grave over this way. Look at this one, 1894. Damn. It's even bigger. Cemetery goes on for quite some. This is probably the biggest graveyard I've ever been in. Nice grave. Oh, Peter Pan statue. Telling us where to go. So we're not quite in the Highlands of Scotland, but Kirriemuir. It's in the Glens of Angus. Here we go. This is J.M. Barrie. Playwright. Wife of David Barrie. So I guess James Matthew Barrie, born on 9th of May 1860, died 19th of June 1937. Look at this old tree here. Okay, I guess here we go. I've got some information, may as well read. So Barrie's birthplace is Brecon Road. The acclaimed author and playwright Sir James Matthew Barrie was born in Kirriemuir on the 9th of May 1860. Lived his early childhood in the nearby Brecon Road. Thanks to the National Trust of Scotland, Barrie's birthplace is open to visitors where they can learn about his life and works in an exciting exhibition. It's easily reached by following the Kirriemuir Heritage Trail to the cemetery. He was the 9th of 10 children of David Barrie and Margaret Ogilvie, who are also both buried there. Both his parents and several of his sisters and two brothers have been laid to rest near where James Matthew lies. Requested to be buried in his beloved Kirriemuir rather than the Poets' Corner in Westminster Abbey. Childhood in Trums. Oh, you read that. It was his work on the story of the boy Peter Pan that made Barrie famous, storyteller for the young and old. The magical story of a boy who would not grow up has captured the imagination of audiences ever since, playing with the 5 Llewellyn Davis boys in Kensington Gardens and becoming friends with them. Their parents Sylvia and Arthur partially inspired Barrie to create the story of Peter Pan and the Lost Boys, but it also seems that since the fatal accident of his brother David, the 6-year-old James had to grow up before his time. David was a boy who would never grow up. J.M. Barrie received many honours, including a Baronetcy, an Order of Merit for his contribution to literature, honorary doctorates, and freedom of Kirriemuir. At times, he was also a friend to many renowned writers, artists at the time. So yeah, what is it? Robert Louis Stevenson wrote to Barrie, "I'm a capable artist, but it looks to me as if you're a man of genius. I'm youth, I'm joy, I'm a little bird that's broken out of the egg." So I thought you guys would appreciate seeing that. Look at this creepy old tree here. It's like straight out of a Hammer horror movie scene. Old trees in the graveyard all like hanging over the hands anyway. Starting to get a little bit creeped out. But well, I'll show you guys the Neverland adventure play area that's just across the roads for J.M. Barrie's birthplace. So it seems there's a fair bit in this little area. We're going to go and try and find the standing stone before we head into Kirriemuir town to get a picture of the Peter Pan statue. So the Neverland Play area, we're here. So I guess we walk past the shelter that we're just at, the little memorial shelter. Somewhere along there seems to be a standing stone and a mound. Woodland walks, Millennium Forest all the way around the area. It's a cemetery here. I guess I'll just, for anybody who wants to read that, I'll just pan down slowly so you can pause the video and read it if you're interested in reading it. The Hill of Kirriemuir is a place steeped in history, rich in natural heritage and spectacular views. We invite you to visit the remains of the prehistoric times, appreciate the botanical and geological sites and see the places that Kirriemuir's most famous sons visited. Well, I guess there was originally a play area on the hill, the original play area on the hill, which looks like it was just a slide. But that picture looks like it was taken in the 1920s or 30s, and I guess back then, you know, kids were easier entertained. See, behind that wall is a cemetery that we kind of started in, but it's noticing this plaque here, which I guess has fell off. There's quite a lot of history in the area, going back to Roman times. Roman legionnaires' views from the shelter reveal several of Kirriemuir's connections to Romans. In Cadham woodland visible behind the last buildings, the remainder of the Roman road still visible today. It's part of a 150-mile long road from west to east built by Severus to connect Roman forts and marching camps such as the nearby Inver Quarty marching camp. But yeah, there's smugglers as well. Cat law was throughout its history often a place of hiding, although the hill does not offer much cover on its smooth flanks. On top in 1745 it was the hiding place of Robert Wedderburn of Percy, who during the rebellion raised a company of clover and prose men for Lord Ogilvy of Aries regiment. Others looking for cover on Catlaw were local whisky smugglers who tried to evade the high taxes on liquid. The Haim made Unsquibach was concealed from army of buggers intent on supervising the illicit activities with smugglers so rife that local characters like David Ogilvy of Rashibog could talk by the day for exploits with the spectres in the view that was nascent the Caledonian tribes. I'm not going to read the whole thing, it's kind of loud, but yeah, I figured I'd just get that. So Wilkie Shelter as well, we kind of went earlier, or depending on when I edit this video, it'll come after this or before this. Wilkie Shelter, or to call it by its full name, the James Wilkie of Apin Memorial Shelter, was gifted in 1928 by the two Misses Wilkie to the memory of their brother. He was a solicitor by profession and as Borough Chamberlain clerk to the school board, treasurer of the First United Free Church of Kirriemuir. A well-known local dignitary, the shelter was given to the town council as a replacement of the old and dilapidated golf house which used to stand in its location. All very interesting stuff. This is the Neverland Park. Me and my nephews, George is going to go down the chute. Hopefully he makes it up. Go Georgie.
3, 2, 1.
Yeah, I think he was holding on. But yeah, like the gravesite was earlier is over in the cemetery there, and you see like Peter Pan, who's got Captain Hook there. And George seems to be having fun. Lana's on the swing, and there's Jack over there. Pretty interesting wee park. Whee! So we're looking after Anna. Here's Anna. While our brother and dad go down the zip slide. Whee! Down you go. We're quite the plan, did it, Anna? What's it? You go get the camera? No. So you're just up for the park, we've got this little James Wilkie of Apin Memorial Shelter built in 1928, which is situated in a nice wee bit of parkland. Over there you've got like sort of the foothills of the Grampians. Just over there, some nice sort of tree life. So area to sit and have a picnic. So this here some old prehistoric standing stone. Some information on here we're going to go and read. Guess we get a photograph of that. It's a lot bigger than I thought. It's a pretty impressive standing stone. Guess we should touch it for good luck. Let's go and have a look, see what it says. The standing stone on the hill is one of several ancient monoliths that used to exist in the area. Standing stones were constructed in prehistoric cultures in many parts of the world, and their exact use is unknown. They may have been erected to play a part in religious rituals, as boundary markers, or as a form of early calendar. Records show that the standing stone used to have a second fragment lying next to it, but this has vanished before 1909. Some take this as proof that the stone was either part of a pair of standing stones or even an ancient stone circle. Which, if it was an ancient stone circle, that would be pretty impressive. That would be up there with the likes of Stonehenge and the Ring of Brodgar. But I guess it's only one left. Legends. Many stories weave around the famous standing stone on the hill. In the historical sketches, David Allen reports that the standing stone had originally been in one piece twice as high, but three robbers who had robbed the man in the hill market sat down to divide their ill-gotten gains beside the standing stone, and as they were so employed, the stone in some miraculous manner split in two, burying the robbers beneath it. Some tales go on to say that no one has ever dared since to uplift the robbers' loot, as the same fate might befall anyone who tries. So there could be three dead robbers lying underneath a standing stone. Life in the Bronze Age. As with many standing stones, the exact date of the standing stone is unknown, but it's thought that it might have been erected in the Bronze Age, which lasted in Scotland from 2000 to 800 BC. The know-how of making tools, weapons and jewellery in bronze and other metals was brought to Scotland by a community called the Beaker people, who came to Scotland travelling down the Rhine and across the North Sea to settle in Britain. The struggle for survival of the ancient stone people would have improved dramatically through the arrival of metalworking. Jewellery, ornaments and musical instruments were being crafted as the raw metals necessary would not be available anywhere, and made trading with other communities inevitable, and this would bring people in contact with many new ideas and customs and ultimately change Scottish life forever. So that's the standing stone and the robbers who may be buried underneath it. So this here looks like another big bit stone. In fact, it definitely is a big bit stone. So maybe that's the stone piece that fell off on top of the robbers. Maybe they're like buried under here. Maybe it was like real tall, just went bam, squashed the robbers. Possibility. It's definitely a stone there. So it looks like a site which is just down for the standing stone, which is there. It used to be an old fort, an old sort of hill fort, or what's called a motte and bailey, I guess they used to call these kind of structures. So the Heathery Fowdy, I think that says, 3 mounds have been identified in the hill called the Three Cairns, of which 2 have largely vanished through time. The remaining one in front of you is called the Heathery Foddy, which seems to be the Scots word for fold. This mound is almost circular and appears to have been originally flat-topped, but was greatly damaged by digging, possibly with intention to find hidden treasure underneath. The exact origin and the meaning of these mounds is unknown, but it's very likely that they were places of observation and possibly of communication through signal fires or smoke. There's a picture of a motte and bailey in Inverurie, Aberdeenshire. A motte in Shackerstone, Leicester. Leicester. I thought maybe that was a picture of this, and there was like some sort of tree there, but I guess those are other mounds in other places. Did you know that motte is a Norman French word for mound or clod of earth? As the hill is 193 metres and 633 feet high overlooking Strathmore, it would have been a perfect location for a settlement or lookout, as it would be able to spot any approaching danger from miles away. It's been suggested that the Heathery Ford could have been a motte. Motte is an artificially made earth mound topped with a wooden or stone structure as a keep, surrounded by a bailey where the servants and soldiers lived. The soil for the mound would often come from a ditch dug around the motte and bailey, but no ditch was found. Mottes were built in the 11th and 12th centuries in Britain, Ireland and France as relatively cheap but effective fortifications. Some mottes were only earth structures on top of an actual hill, but used to be fortified observation points, possibly like the Heathery Ford. So I guess if you look at it, you would, if this was like, you would be able to see quite a long distance away to the hills. We figured that was worth mentioning as well. So we're wandering through these ancient woodlands. This is on J.M. Barrie's land. I guess it's part of the J.M. Barrie Heritage Trail. How are you doing, Georgie? You have a good day, Georgie? Yes. And over there, there's people climbing. See people climbing over there? They're doing abseiling. And yeah, there's like some of these cliffs over there. Our next sort of information board is here. You can check that out. But yeah, this is just sort of a walk down from where the Motte and Bailey was up there. And as we came down here, noticing a hell of a lot of interesting tree species to get like decent photographs of. Walking down that way, then you see these cliffs here where we can do some abseiling. So I guess it used to be a quarry. I'm not going to read all this for you, but yeah, you can pause it and read it yourself. I'll take a picture so we get out of the video. Oh yeah, very, very interesting area. So I guess this used to be a quarry. It's pretty impressive. See hooks where people have been hill climbing. These little sparkly hooks all over the place. But I guess people have been doing abseiling and rock climbing. It's just a bonfire. Just choose the last of the back of the camera. This is the Peter Pan statue in the centre of Kirriemuir. We've got the gateway to the Glens Museum over there, which we were checking out, but I think it's closed right now because of COVID. Peter Pan statue. The original statue was commissioned by Angus Mill Company 1968 and erected in Glengate, Kirriemuir as a tribute to the playwright, author and creator of the story. I'll let you guys read that yourself. Running out of batteries. Tried to get a nice shot with the clock tower in the background. But yeah, it's been Kirriemuir.